welcome to Catholic Nest. So I thought I'd share a last back to homeschool haul before the new term starts next week. So there's a few bits I've accumulated over the last couple of months and set aside ready for this term. So it's a mixture of books and some stationery bits and some activity bits. So the first thing I brought is Little Goose's Autumn, which is an autumn children's book. I really like the illustrations on it, and we have a bit of an autumn book selection. I like to have a few books for each season, just to highlight the nature changes. So that's the first book. So I'll go through the new ones first, and then a couple of the second-hand ones. So this one is Therese Makes a Tapestry. So this is off our Morning Basket medieval book list, and we're going to be doing a bit on tapestries this term. I thought this book was really beautiful, such lovely soft illustrations. The second one is a really nice hardback. It's Saints Around the World. So I'm always looking out for nice saints book, and I saw this recommended on a Facebook group and it doesn't disappoint. It's a nice thick book, and it's got loads and loads of saints stories from around the world. So for our geography this term, we're going to be doing something a little different, which involves the country study. So I've acquired a couple of new resources to help with that, and this is one of them. So we can, whatever country we're looking at, we can cover a saint from that country too. It's a really quality book, and it surpassed expectations. So that's a lovely one. Joan of Arc, The Peasant Girl Who Led the French Army, by Baby Professor. So I was drawn to this by, again, a nice layout and the graphics, and that it was quite child friendly in that it wasn't too much information and it was broken down in little sections. So she's one of the saints on our medieval list, and they've been asking a little bit about Joan of Arc recently, and with All Saints' Day coming up, I thought it was worth investing in a couple of new saints books. This one's been on my list for a while. Little House Picture Book Treasury. So I thought it was a little pack of books, because you can buy each story individually, but it's actually one thick book, which is probably nicer because we won't lose any of them. So I've bought on the second-hand pile, I've got the first of the Laura Ingalls books for the older ones. So I got this for my 4-year-old, so we can cover the same story but at her level. And I just love, again, the illustrations. Really lovely, wholesome stories. I thought we could end her little educational bit every day with a story. So that's lovely. So another one for our geography project. The first country we're covering is Korea, and I didn't have much about it. So I bought this book, which was about £10, but it's really good, and I'm pleased to say that there are a few others in the series. So it's stories, songs, crafts and games for kids. So it's a really nice overview of the country for children. There's loads of stuff you can do in it. There's songs, all stuff about the animals. There's nice little stories, all about taekwondo, making a Korean shield. So there's recipes in the back, there's games, songs, there's a couple of stories about their daily life. There's just a really nice overview. I don't feel like we need a great deal of books to cover the subject when this book does it so well. So only adding a couple of others So definitely buy more from this series. I really recommend. Again, for our geography study, I saw this the other day and snapped it up. The Culture of Clothes, a Celebration of World Dress. So this is a nice hardback book. So I always look for geography books that have that are about culture and that include different countries, whether in stories or art or whatever it may be, so that you can use them for several studies. So this one covers the sort of national dress of each country. Obviously, it has a selection of countries, but it's a really nice book to add a bit of the flavour of that country through clothing in. So I'm really pleased with that. Now our second hand, there's just a few. So the Laura Ingalls Little House in the Big Woods. It's a couple of pound off eBay. The King Arthur trilogy for my 10 going on 11-year-old. And St George and the Dragon, just a couple of pound again. This is covering medieval period for our history. So I have a whole stack of medieval books which I'll have to share in a different video. So a couple of stationery bits, pencils and pens. I'm making some activities for my 18-month-old to do while we'll be doing the educational bits. So I got her some foam shapes and these giant chalks from Tesco. So I'm planning to do a video once our term gets underway of how I keep my toddler entertained while I work with the older four, and how that goes. So do subscribe if you're interested in seeing how to juggle little ones and some ideas of activities for that. So as I've shared before, we do a scrapbook for our home ed. We do loads of stuff in the woods and lots of outdoor stuff. So I've found these lovely scrapbook papers from forests in the different seasons. I thought it was just gorgeous. And they make lovely scrapbook papers. Along the same lines, I also got this little pack of scrapbook nature pictures to put in around the photos. So I got a couple of these exercise books. I do like the half and half ones if you have a child that likes to illustrate, as it just gives them a bit more incentive to write if they know that they also get to draw a lovely picture. So this is probably going to be for my 7-year-old, as the lines are a bit bigger. And then I've got this narration book. The lines are a little wider than I'd hoped, but I'll probably let my 9-year-old have this, as he's a keen illustrator as well. If he gets to draw, he's more likely to write, so I'll let him have that one. He is doing some narration and copy work with his work as well, so that'll be perfect. So the final thing to share is these transparent junior rainbow pebbles. I've opened them just to have a look, and they're so nice and tactile. I think they're 18 months and up. Yes, 18 months plus. Which is perfect. So my daughter's just turned 18 months. We love loose parts in all sorts of shapes and forms. So I'm on a mission to find lots of loose parts that are not too small for her to use. The older ones love Grappat, but they're just a little bit small. So I'm building up a little supply. She loves to play with them like they play with Grappat, so it's nice for her to have some that are safer to use. So they're really nice. I think they also do them in a solid colour, and you can get activity mats for them too. So that's that. So there we go, that's my back to school haul, back to homeschool, and I'm really pleased with the books. We've got some lovely books to use this term, and it's always nice to have some good resources when we're doing unit studies and so on. So I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and please do press like and subscribe. Thank you.